Hello students, welcome to Business 221 Section B now, Part B of Accounting Principles, the second half of the basic accounting course. In Business 221A, the first section, the first 8-week course, we learn the very basics about accounting principles, accounting ethics, the 4 financial statements, T-charts, the double entry concept, concept about recognition, valuation, and classifications. We learned about the trial balance, and we can now define the differences between cash basis accounting and accrual accounting. The objective of this course, Section B, Business 221B, is to continue the discussion on a number of principles that we've already covered and expand our understanding of accounting. Now, as a reminder, as a leader and future business person, it's important that you learn and know the basics of accounting principles so that you can be wise decision makers in the world. You see, you need to be able to speak the language of accounting so that you can quickly assess whether you're being faked out or not. You need to be able to assess fake data from fact data. All right. Last term, I reminded you that people who understand how a business's financial operations work and function usually rise to the level of making significant decisions in the organization. So, my goal in this course, in the course that we just had, is not to make you an accountant, but rather educate you so that you understand one of the basic systems behind business, the accounting system. Excuse me. That said, this term, we're looking at a number of concepts that are increasingly complex, but not impossible to understand. We will be looking at preparing financial statements from a trial balance. We're going to connect net income to cash flows in those 2 statements. We're going to be preparing closing entries. We're going to be understanding how to reverse entries. We'll be studying the conceptual framework underlying all accounting information. We're going to prepare a balance sheet. We're going to evaluate the liquidity and profitability, if you remember those from the A section class, Business 221A, where we talked about liquidity and profitability. We're going to do a little bit more on evaluating them. And we're going to prepare income statements for different inventory systems. We'll be covering topics in your textbook up through Chapter 6. Like last term, each week I will post at least 2 videos for you to watch. The first video is a biblical devotional related to leadership, or it's a biblical principle important to our lives. Integrating a biblical worldview into our leadership is a must. If you're a believer in Jesus Christ, you have to carry a biblical worldview as you go into the business world. Otherwise, you'll be tricked and fooled into believing just about anything. In the second video that I present each week is a short mini lecture, short overview about the week that's coming up. It'll not be deep. That comes from the text and the material and that sort of thing. But it's an overview to help guide you through the material. Also, occasionally, I'll include a video clip or a news clip, a PDF file or whatnot, out of the current headlines that overlaps our course. I think it's really good that we can add some, when we can, we add background and some depth to what you're learning each week. As before, each week I'll hold virtual office hours using Zoom, and those hours will be on Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Now, if that time slot doesn't work for you and you want to connect with me in a different time at a different time period, get with me. I can be pretty flexible. Just remember though, I'm in the Eastern time zone, so if you're in the Mountain time zone, I'm 2 hours in front of you. And if you're in Pacific time, well, I'm 3 hours in front of you, okay? You can find the Zoom link under the How-To module in Canvas. Now, regarding the pace of the class week begins, and I think you already know this, I'm just going to remind you, it begins on Monday and ends on Sunday. Pay close attention to the due dates for each assignment. If you can't meet a due date, reach out to me and let me know what's going on. I want to be able to help you. The sooner you contact me before you miss the deadline, the more gracious I'll probably be in extending that deadline if we can come to an agreement. But if you wait till afterwards, may not be so gracious. Okay. Finally, to help you keep your focus, I'm only releasing the weeks, the course material 1 week at a time. So I want you to focus on the week that you're in before I release the second week. I usually release the second week's worth of material on about Saturday and for sure by Sunday. All right. I don't want you to rush forward in an attempt to just get everything done and miss some of the details of the current week. All right, that's it. Let's dive into the course and go. And remember, God is still on his throne. He's always been there, and he always will be.